What's up, everybody? Here we go. Hope you're all doing well. Happy to be here with you. Whew! What a fun trading day, huh? So exciting. Thanks for being here, guys. What's up, Boar? How we doing? How we doing? Pew 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 pew. Evidently, we've still got to be very cautious about the algo overlords with Apple Music getting spotted on YouTube. So hopefully I don't get dinged on copyright violation. I know it's been a bit of an epidemic with the other hosts, so not trying to get myself in trouble with the boss man and his YouTube account. So if you guys can't hear too much of the music, you're just gonna have to deal with it, guys. George, thanks for being here, man. Excited to have you. Obviously, today is kind of a tricky one, but I think from the... hold on a second. Okay, sorry. I got very distracted. Somebody, I think, was making a mention about something from me, and now I don't really know what it's all about. But yeah, George, basically, long story short, I'm happy to have you here. Anybody who wants to learn how to trade Gamma, and add that as a layer to their trading, I'm super happy to have them. So, Trump nuked my stop. Actually, Trump kind of fucked me on a trade today. I was selling puts today, put spreads, and he really jacked up my average. Thankfully, I didn't get stopped on that. But today was a day where I did not believe in the downside really materializing, so I sold some puts, and absent that one big algo spike, everything's working out well for me there. So I am going to make money on those. From a future standpoint, you can see I've got a very, 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 very tiny NQ position on, or MNQ rather. Seeing if we can get kind of a drift back up into the middle of this range. I don't have huge hopes for it, but I think there's a couple things that are lining up nicely there. Yeah, I think today is a pretty straightforward day, all things considered. If you guys saw my pre-market plan, you'll probably know that I was very cautious today and extra patient. I know that a few people that I've worked with here, Miggy, if Miggy's in the chat somewhere hanging out, Miggy caught the kind of banger best short of the day. And honestly, guys, that is something I was looking to potentially take, but I wasn't really feeling like it. I didn't want to do it again today. But the fact we got this move up in the overnight to me felt very empty. So if we want to go over the pre-market and get rid of the current positioning, this will be kind of a fun one. So basically, the purple dashed lines... What's up, SC? The purple dashed lines represented the kind of the straddle from the overnight session. So essentially, given the opening print of the overnight, like 5 o'clock my time right here, the overnight straddle was basically telling you this is the range that was being priced in for overnight into tomorrow. We were banging up against that at about 5 a.m. my time. We cleared kind of the biggest ammo strike if we wanted to keep going higher, but the problem is we were going higher into a range where it was always going to slow down. There wasn't a lot of fuel to keep us up there. If anything, it was kind of a rejection area. And as you can see, we were unable to hold over this. We attempted it again, and if you took a short in the pre-market or even at or near the open and said, prove me wrong, prove to me that you're going to get over and hold that strike, right? Or if you took it in the pre-market with that same basis of, I don't know that you're going to actually hold over here, you were able to pretty much target the same range I mentioned in the pre-market, right? If this is our whole big trading range for the day, if we actually opened up here, if you're not able to hold the middle of it, we know, right? We know we're probably going to come down to this balance area where there should be some slowing down, some buying of futures by market makers. So if you caught this trade, depending on your size and what your entry was, or even at the open, right, and you had that same conviction, I don't believe that you're going to get over all of this before you go test down here, right? Even then, that's a decent trade. More like a 2R depending on what your size was. If you're going off of a candle specifically, but you're using that kind of same methodology, prove me wrong. There she is. There's Miggy. Miggy, I was kind of going over why your trade was so good based on the pre-market kind of profile and what I was seeing coming in on the day. So Miggy took it from up here, right? But in taking that trade, you're essentially saying, if you're not able to hold over this, the strongest place for you to come back and find like kind of guaranteed buying, right, from a market maker perspective, is down here. And then anything that goes below that, like obviously this, I know you said you got a fill off down here off this kind of algo spike, which really was very nonsensical, guys. That headline, that being the algo that spiked us, saying that we've cleared the Strait of Mines, that it just doesn't make any sense. It just shows you how manipulated this market can be with these algos. High frequency trading is a whole different ballgame, right? But the thing that I find interesting about that algo spike is a lot of people see these big spikes in these wicks and they don't get it. If we sold that aggressively, they just assume, oh, so many people wanted to buy there, they snapped it back up. When in reality, what tends to happen on those high frequency trading algo headlines is that it adjusts the delta so quickly. And we know that market makers are long here, 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 all the way down, right? This green kind of tells you they are long. So price should move slower there. And if volatility spikes rapidly into an area like that, they have to respond just as quickly as the news spike hit, which is why you tend to see these really rapid retracements of those sell candles within a minute or less, right? Because if they sold that fast, the market makers sitting there that you know have to buy futures, they don't just sit there and let it happen. They have to react. And they have to react to in this case, to the tune of thousands of minis like that, which is why you get those really rapid retracements. But then what's interesting in moments like that is what comes next. Is there actually enough selling to retrace that move? Or now that they've hedged and they're balanced again, is it putting up the expected response, right? Where it just slowly grinds and chops until somebody forces it to move the other way. And in this case, nobody had the juice, right, to shove us back down there. And we've held it. So if you took a long, even just from the pre-market profile, and why I'm long on MNQ here, very small size, obviously, is with this idea. As long as I'm holding that, I can probably get back up to here, right? Do you see that? If I know market makers are going to be buying here, and we're probably not going to fall through the floor, but we're going to grind and chop, at least I can be long up here knowing the more I go higher, the more market makers are going to have to buy to help me. And what I mean by that is, looking from the pre-market profile to what happened after the London close, yes, all of these red bars are technically selling against me, but every one that I conquer is just going to help me move higher, right? As long as there's enough buying and we stay over these or in these red bars, market makers are now helping me. They're buying futures. So this reinforces that same trade from the pre-market profile, right? As long as I get over this and I hold over this green bar, I'm probably going to drift up. The risk is what happens if I don't have enough buying pressure and all these people in the market decide I ran out of steam, then at least I know where we're likely to come back down to. So again, very low risk trade. I took MNQ just thinking maybe we get a more aggressive pop. But the other thing we have to think about is this was always going to be a range day, guys. Unless we actually exploded higher early, everything about today coming in, if you saw that pre-market plan from me, said this is a box day. It's just about trading the edge of those boxes, right? Being patient, seeing if what you are observing matches up with what you know is happening in certain places, and just taking those trades, trading the edges. If you're like a VWAP person, right? I worked with a student last night who primarily is a VWAP trader, okay? So if you look at like VWAP, there's a lot of confluence here, right? We're holding this low. We moved away from VWAP or whatever. And then as we move higher and you hold over VWAP, a VWAP trader is going to say, now I would expect to trend beyond that, right? But you have the confluence of knowing, hey, I've got these dealers sitting here long. This is all very supportive. They're going to be buying futures into the afternoon. So with that in mind, and I know the market's pricing in a move of about 13 points, which is this kind of blue dotted line. Anything that's inside of these blue dotted lines is going to be impacting price. Market makers are going to have to assist with buying or selling depending on where we go. So there is an outside chance that if the market catches a bid, we could do what we did down here up like this, right? Every one of these you conquer, that's more buying. Market makers are going to support you, okay? So if that happens, just like right now, as long as we stay over this one and this one, it's going to help us get through this one until we maybe run out of steam right here. But if they're strong and they start pricing this in up here, we can again get some help, but it's only if the market drives it. Market makers are just reacting, okay? They're not dictating anything, but because of how big of a size they're holding and how many futures they have to trade, given where price moves, we know that right now they're helping us drift upwards. The risk is what happens if not enough people keep buying and some sellers show up, then they can change that equation back down to this range where we know market makers are going to slow us down and they're going to buy some futures again. So right now, this is why I'm in this long trade on MNQ. It's obviously working. It's a very small position size because today is not a day for futures in my opinion. Today was always going to be a grindy chop fest. I think today was a day to like I said, the puts that I sold, if you want to know what that looks like, I basically said when we got this move down, I sold from here to here. So I bought this one, I sold this one, and basically said I sold it for X amount of money. As price drifts up, these lose value, which means I collect premium. And today, as a range day, is a great day to have that strategy because you're just collecting premium. So again, I don't have huge confidence this goes much higher. I still think the base case for me today from here is that we do a little bit of this, and then we still kind of settle down here, right? But I wanted to participate in the cleanest long trade of the afternoon, which again is literally just saying, as long as you hold over this area, you have the potential to do something like this. Anything beyond that, guys, is a bonus to me, right? This is a very low activity day, but there is potential, right? I can see if I hold a runner, for example, I cut 6 out of these 8 micros, and I leave the last 2 in case we somehow miraculously get this move. I am not expecting that. I'm actually expecting this to stall out and we just come back down here. I wanted something on just for the ride, right? So there we go. Oh, that is wild. It just showed that like everybody and their mom dropped off the stream at the same time. Must have been a glitch. I got very concerned. So that's the only reason I paused. My bad. But let me catch up on the chat here. I see a lot of comments compared to normal, so I want to make sure I catch up. What's up, Ban? And Thea, hello, everybody. That blue-haired female you posted in your channel. Blue-haired female? Is your sister... Oh, Randy. God, I was like, dude, what? Did somebody hack my shit? That's like a Cardi B meme, dude. I was just laughing at that. What Randy's probably talking about, guys, is I actually called this move out in the Discord a little bit. This was like kind of an expectation for me around, let's see here. Let's look, see if I can find it. So this was at about 10 a.m. my time, which is obviously like 90 minutes ago by now. But you could see this move building. And when I say you could see this move building, what I meant is this. Here's the sister you were talking about. So 15-point straddle here. Any bid back over 76.80 ES can move pretty solid. My base case is just disgusting chop. But the potential, right, that you guys could see was if you get over this, you can see the potential to move, right? You could see that happening. But what did I just say? The issue is it's likely to come straight back to that same strike, right? It's just how it goes. As soon as this momentum disappears, market makers are going to sell futures right back. Okay? If you don't have enough people in the market doing the move, like forcing price, market makers, as soon as that turns off, what they're going to do is sell you back to a spot where you know they have to buy again. So what tends to happen on these days is we get a lot of this grindy chop, right? We just do stuff like this. And what you tend to do is you tend to do that closer to these big long positions or between whatever long positions there are. We move through this area quickly. We don't run, we don't have momentum that sustains. We come back to the spot where they're buying futures again. And because we know this is buying and this is buying and this all the way down, right? Everything below us is now just market makers buying futures every 5 minutes, right? However many minis they have to buy, they're just doing that, which keeps us kind of floating in place. The only thing that changes that equation is whoever else is out there. What other people in the market are choosing to buy or sell? And generally at this time of day, there's not a lot of that happening, okay? So you're pretty much stuck between where these market makers are doing their business, right? And then hoping that somebody else shows up to tip the scales and force their hand to help them, right? So in this case, we're in this red zone. We want those market makers in those positions to keep buying us up to around here, where maybe we can use this to help us passively, right? All of these bars, the more of them we sit over, we know market makers have to keep buying futures. So that is the case for this logic. I can see the potential, right? If I want to put something on, I need to observe and be patient, okay? And then I want to see it actually come to fruition. But if it doesn't, I already know exactly why my risk to take that long wasn't necessarily from down here, because this was resistance to me. I don't want to take a long unless I know that I'm able to break away from it, right? Because had I taken a long down here and gotten lucky on the algo spike, that's fine. But I'm not talking about that. After the London close, which is pretty much from this spike and we faded it back down, I wanted to see this. I want to see us hold here. And if my base case is telling you, I think we chop, but if we move away and we get the help of these market makers buying, I can see us easily just stair-stepping to here. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys, right? All I'm doing is saying if I know market makers have to buy or they have to sell, and then I also know what takes place that makes them change that dynamic, I can manage my risk really effectively, right? I know that it would take way more work for them to sell us down now than it would for us to go higher. So if I know we're more likely to chop and at least hold here, and it would be easier to go up, I'm going to go long. Shorting into this, you are 100% shorting the whole. You are banking on getting way down here before that changes. Something would have to happen. You'd have to have another big headline that gets things started to meaningfully go lower today. If someone is telling you to short right now, based on what I see, I cannot endorse that. I can endorse going absolutely nowhere. So to the person I worked with last night, who again is like a VWAP trader, they're probably looking at that going, I'm just scalping back to VWAP. I'm scalping from here back down to here, right? Or maybe a little more because I know this position exists. But I'm not shorting thinking we're going to test the day's low again. That would require way more effort. That would require a lot of people in the market suddenly deciding they're going to overwhelm 3,000 contracts of futures that have to be bought here and down here and here. Just us drifting along in time, they have to buy, right? So until that changes, I'll just sit in this tiny long position and see what we get. George, oh, sorry. The amount of confluence Gamma gives you alongside whatever other edge you're using is mind-boggling. Thanks for shining the light. Hey, honestly, that's it. I actually had like kind of a troll on Instagram. I guess maybe I shouldn't have said anything about, do you want to learn how to use Gamma? Tune into the live stream or whatever, because the guy was like, I talked down to my audience evidently. I didn't realize I was doing that. Maybe it's just a troll, but I do want to make sure that whatever I am sharing with you guys is valuable. So if this seems like much ado about nothing, fine. But I think the evidence, the proof is in the pudding, so to speak, right? We've been doing these streams since April. And on the vast majority of these streams, or for the people that are actually in the Discord that see the pre-market plans and know those probabilities, and you see where they hold, where we reject, where we drift to, and you're able to see this stuff well in advance of the market open, right? A lot of the times I'm doing this stuff in the overnight. Why were we able to short from here to here? Why did I target that place long? Why did we reject from there? Like Tamigi's short overnight. We covered that already. Why shorting from up here in that overnight high was about the cleanest short trade you were going to get today, right? And then why, as we moved lower and held this spot, this is probably your best long opportunity of the day. And honestly, absent that algo spike, we were pretty much starting to do exactly what you would expect. Just grinding and chopping along this kind of broadly supportive area to nowhere. But there is edge in this, and I really do believe that. I think the people that refuse to engage with it just don't want to learn, or they don't want to acknowledge that like one of the most data-driven aspects in the market, zero-date options flow, has driven more of the market than actual underlying stock for a couple of years now. If you want to put your head in the sand, that's fine. You don't have to trade this stuff either. You can be a successful trader without it. But if you're looking for that extra layer of confidence and being able to understand how to trade in certain markets, right? When things are volatile, where should you wait to execute, right? Where other people are guessing, they're pissing in the wind. When things are really volatile and it's whipping around and we have those big, 600 point days on NQ, wouldn't you like to know like where the highest probability spot where we're going to bounce or slow down would be? I think there's huge edge in that. So if I can help somebody do that, then I'm going to do it. But I'm glad you agree, Series and George. That is kind of what I'm here for. And I'm the only guy out of all of our hosts that does this, and that's not to speak ill of any of the other hosts. Everybody's successful with their system. But I do appreciate that there are people who are more interested in this, right? I think there's a reason you're seeing this big shift to order flow and order flow platforms. It's not just Bookmap anymore. There's all manner of people coming to this to try to say, I want to trade something tangible, a more data-driven approach, right? And however you go about doing that, I'm glad you're here. Let's catch up here. Can we import the data from VS3D, or is it manually inserted? There is no way to import it directly. You can do some data capture through your browser and stuff. There's different applications you can use through like OCR to take the screenshot from your browser and like manually populate it into a file. Or if you're using TradingView on the web, it's easier to do. I use the desktop application, so it is a manual process for me, but I've automated a lot of it. So there's all sorts of things you can do there. Trader JRM. This is just like a custom Claude based indicator, guys. So it's not anything I sell. I share the Pine script with everybody that asks for it. It's very simple, but the thing to remember is without the data that goes into this, it's effectively useless. So the nice thing is the vendor that I get this data from is called Vol Signals, or VS3D is the platform. We actually were able to secure a code. It's Mitch or Rake. Either one of those will work. I would prefer you guys use RAKE. I think we're going to do away with Mitch to keep it consistent so it's not confusing. But RAKE is the code to use to get you a discount off of their monthly subscription to the platform. And they do have a 7-day free trial. So if you guys want to trial that, I'll drop the link here in the chat really quickly so you guys have access to it. And again, code RAKE will give you a discount on that service. Yeah, ZP, this is, we just announced it the other day. I probably need to do a better job. If you go there, you can sign up for that 7-day free trial, use code RAKE, and when the trial is over and your subscription starts, you'll get the discount. But super excited about that. I love the platform. There's a lot of crappy competitors out there. There's a lot of snake oil in the Gamma world, guys. A lot of people will do whatever they can to kind of hook you and sell you a narrative that their platform is showing you something that it just fundamentally is not there. To that end, there's actually someone in the Discord who has been leveraging more of like a naive approach. And based on their interpretation of that, it made a fundamentally false claim that we moved into negative gamma at 76.75 on SPX, which is coincidentally where we are right now. That could not be further from the truth. So if you are operating off of something like that, no bueno, right? Because then you're expecting a behavior that actually is not there. It is not going to work the way you think it's working. So you have to be very careful that what you pay for is what you're actually getting. And the nice thing about Vol Signals or VS3D is that it was built by former market makers. You're talking about people with massive, massive experience. We're talking working at the biggest banks and firms in the industry, the very people who are trading billions of dollars every day for years and years built this platform. So from a trust standpoint, I stand behind it because they do. And compared to everything popping up that's kind of AI slop, it's one thing to get the data. It's another thing to trust it. So I just trust the experience there. So if you guys want to pursue that, I would encourage you to do that. Let's see here. Larger green blocks are buy zones for market makers. JRM, basically what it is it's less about buying. It's more about how price behaves when you get into those areas, right? When market makers are long, they are slowing price down. So there's this kind of old adage out there. Market makers, when they're long, are going to buy the dips, right? So the same thing that tells me I know if we fail up here, we're probably going to settle against this kind of stretch of dealer longs is because as we fall down, market makers have to buy futures to offset that change, right? As price falls, they have to buy futures when they're long. But let's say we move up into this position. It's very small, right? Relatively. But as we move into this position, this green bar here is going to try to slow us down because that market maker is going to sell the higher we go, right? So why we chop when there's a lot of those green bars is because those market makers that are long are constantly buying and selling. The higher we go, they sell. The lower we go, we buy, right? And what happens when they do that? You get a lot of what we've seen lately, right? How many days have you seen we make a move, but all we end up doing is kind of oscillating around some key spots, right? We just kind of keep coming back to balance because we're kept in check. And that is what tends to happen when you've got a lot of these broadly positive positions on the board. Now, when we have the red bars, red means speed price up, because wherever price is going, the market makers, if they're short or those red bars, they have to go with whatever that momentum is. So if price moves through that spot, all the futures the market maker was just selling because we were under them, now the higher we go, they have to keep buying futures, right? They have to go with the momentum. So the whole framework for trading with this strategy is effectively knowing where are things setting up for me? Where can I have the highest conviction or the highest probability that if what I know has to happen, meaning market makers as we move through these red bars have to keep buying futures, or if I was patient and said, I don't think we're going to stay up here if we get here, so I'm going to wait to take a short and say, I know that if you get up here, let's say, I'm willing to bet you're not going to get any higher than this. And if you fail, I know you're probably going to fail and come back to this area, right? Because that's where they're going to buy. I'm not going to short this thinking we sell through all of that when I know that means market makers are buying. It's not as attractive, right? So you short the range where something is more likely to happen because you know someone's sitting there that has to do something. That's the whole gist of this thing. George, DM me on Instagram or on the Watt page or Discord, and I'll shoot you that. I don't think Instagram likes sending the Pine script. For whatever reason, trying to send that file just does not jive in Instagram. So, Bor, yeah, I think you sent that one to me. Somebody did. If you're not under it, you're over it, vice versa. Sounds simple. That's the way you like it. Yeah, I mean, that is the thing I would remind you guys, right? Everything about this, you don't have to understand the hard math. You don't have to understand what every Greek does and what gamma is, what charm is, right? If you just want to boil it down to, I know the red bars, market makers go either direction. Whoever's winning the momentum fight, market makers are helping them. But when I get to the green bars, market makers are going to slow things down. But if the active people trading in the market are strong, they can overwhelm that spot and we move into the next range, right? So then you just have to start taking that probability thing in your head into account. If I'm over something, I'm not under it. So if I'm over these prices, they're going to get me to here, right? But if I'm under all of this stuff, I'm going to have a really hard time moving through it unless the market's strong. So to me, I'm pretty much thinking between here and the end of the day, we're either going to try to hold up here, which means any selling pressure into the close will probably push me back down here. Or I think we just kind of bounce between these two spots and we finish kind of like this, right? I'm just taking the probabilities. If I know they're doing one thing, as time goes on, I'm probably not going to go any higher because all of this is selling against me. So if I don't move up and over this, which means I have to cover here first and I'm under it, where are the places I'm going to slow down and get stuck? Either right here or I fail and I just come back down to here anyway, right? Which is why, again, knowing that, I have a very small size trade on. I'm not looking for a huge move. I don't want to risk a lot because if it just comes back, right, I know where we're probably going to go. Fryboy, it's not for sale. It's literally, I just said, I can share the Pine script with you. The prompt is so straightforward. It is a very simple indicator, but unless you pay for the data, the indicator gives you nothing, right? So just remember that. Anyway, but yeah, guys, I don't know. I think it's nice to be able to come in on a day and pretty much, what in the world? Oh my God, I just panicked. I got a thing saying that my Apple password had been changed. I thought I got hacked or something. So if there's green bars above you, orders are there will slow down. Does that mean that those are resistance areas? I mean, you can look at it from a support and resistance framework. To me, it's just more about like expectations, right? For me, if I was long, that's just generally a good take profit area. If we're going to slow down there, I'm probably going to secure profit, because if I'm slowing down there, that opens the door to failing there, right? Or spending so much time there that I run out of momentum, right? And then if I fail there, knowing that all of these bars are red, if sellers show up when I fail up here, I'm probably going to come all the way back down, right? That's a probability argument. I'm less likely to get stuck up here when the bigger support is down here. So any failures through this range can take me all the way back down, right? Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, if you just generally look at that, the more of something there is, the stronger conviction you have in it. I start looking at this going, okay, that's a lot of green. That means I'm pretty well supported into the afternoon. It'll be harder to move lower, right? But if I fail here, I'm probably going to settle down on this one. I'm not expecting to fall all the way through the floor just because I see red down there. I'm over it. So if you guys zoom out, right, and you zoom out of all this, and you just say, okay, if I'm not over this, I'm under it. So I'm probably going to live here where things slow down. If I'm not over this, I'm under it. So where's the next kind of balance area where we slow down or chop? Right there. If I'm not under this, or if I'm not over this, I'm probably going to finish somewhere right at here or under it, because all of this is supportive. If I'm not under this down here, and there's this big green range, I'm probably going to finish way the hell up there, because it's going to be hard to even sell down here. Do you guys get it? Like, it makes a lot of sense to me, visually speaking. This idea of if you're not under it, you're over it, where does it point you to, is why I thought this particular long, right, looks good. But again, we already talked about why I thought the base case is disgusting chop. If you don't have enough juice to break away, where are you likely to come back to, right? Right about here. NQ looks to be quite a bit weaker, but we'll see. But that's the idea, guys, is I wanted to participate for that potential trade. But now it looks like it's failing, and we're just going to go back to that balance, right? So to me, the day is either you finish up here around this 7,700, or we just settle down gently against this 7,680. But the market right now is only, it actually got smaller. So this idea of the straddle kind of being your gauge for what does the market tell you it's pricing in, how much more of a move does the market think we're going to get this afternoon? It's pretty much telling you these blue dotted lines are what's being priced in right now. So when I say disgusting chop, we are kind of being held inside of the very two boundaries I just mentioned, right? So bouncing around in here, but getting kind of stuck closer to the bigger one is honestly the least surprising development possible. How often do I update the data? The platform, it's updating every 10 minutes. I just look at the pre-market, guys. That's kind of like my holy grail. What positions were there that were held all night last night into today? And are those still kind of proving to be the biggest positions as the rest of the day goes on? And then once London has closed, like 10:30 Central, once all those other people are out of the market, right? London's gone, Asia's gone. There's just less people trading, which is why after London, what tends to happen? You don't really move anywhere. If you're a volume person, right? Let's throw that up on here. I don't know. That's probably not a good one. Oh, Jesus. Isn't there just like a really straight up, just like volume? Isn't that just a thing? Just volume? There you go. Why do you think that after 10:30 Central, that's really funny. If this is the London close, look at volume just absolutely go nowhere. I bet every day it looks the same way, right? Yeah, afternoons are almost nothing. You either get it at the end of day or you get it in the beginning of the day, right? Beginning of day, end of day, beginning of day, end of day. When there's less people participating, who do you think is trading? Because they have to. If there aren't a bunch, if you and I and our little prop firm accounts aren't actually hitting the real market, right? Our contracts aren't doing shit. There can be 15,000 retail traders trading prop sim fundeds. Those accounts aren't actually impacting the real market. So if we're not doing anything in the futures market and we're not doing anything in the options market or with stocks, and market makers are the ones sitting there holding positions, who are they trading with? Onesie twosies here and there. They're trading against each other. They're just trading their position. So if you know where they're buying futures and where it's going to go, then you're just banking on, what am I watching? I'm watching to see if somebody else shows up and forces them to do something else. But like right now, you can see, okay, we rejected back through this range. Why can we move quicker through this area, but we're going to likely slow down the lower we go? Because we know there's somebody sitting here buying something, slowing it down, right? So if we just start kind of bouncing and chopping and doing a bunch of this now, but we stick closer to this strike because we can't get over this one, but we can't get under this one, that's where you do this kind of stuff, right? The other thing you can think about is, like, for all of you people who freak out about this idea of like liquidity, what is liquidity? Like, actually ask yourself that question. What is liquidity? Is it participation? Is it agreement? If there's more buying and selling at one specific spot, what does that tell you? There's more agreement that that's a fair price, right? So if more of something exists at a place, it means there's more liquidity. If there's more agreement, there's less opportunity for what? Volatility. If there's more volatility, it means there's less liquidity. There's less agreement on price. So the more volatility there is, that means there's more range. You can move further to places until you find that liquidity. Does that make sense? So why do we move through dealer red bars, right? Why do we move through those short positions? Because they're going with whoever's dominating. But why do we slow down when we get to dealer longs? Because there's more agreement there. We slow down. So you're moving from one place to another. Whoever tells you about draws on liquidity or whatever that terminology is, right? It's kind of a misnomer. Where does it always line up? Why don't you go very far, or why do you reject big green areas, right? Positive gamma regimes are where you go slower. You don't get as much range. You get a 25-point expected move to start the day, and you trade fully inside of it. Right? Is it making sense yet? This is all stuff that's publicly available. You guys go to your option chain, you go to your broker, you go to Robinhood, you go to whatever. There's like the option priced expected move for the day. How often do we trade inside that range? Inside of the expected move, right? How many days do you break outside of that? Those tend to be days when there is more volatility, right? Because you're introducing the element of uncertainty. There is less agreement on price, so you're going to move further until you find where things are more agreed upon, which is where the positive positions are. So if you know that at the start of the day, it changes how you view the day. You're not going to go into today looking for a trend when everything about it tells you we're probably going to get stuck here and it's going to be way harder to break out of it. Could we? Sure. Could I grow a tit? Yeah. Is it probably going to happen today? Nope. It's probably a long road of bad decisions. But it's possible, I guess. So if you know that going in, you can avoid making really bad decisions. But you can use some goofy name for it otherwise. but it's really just very basic mechanics, guys. Just one. I'm not the chick from Total Recall, you know? Maybe a third nipple. Maybe that's what I should have said. Would that be better? Anyway, but that is the deal. So Josh, option tubes, positive gamma pops are usually getting sold. Yeah, they are, because it's mechanical. They have to get sold into. Price slows down. How does it slow down if price goes up? What has to happen up there? Market makers are selling futures the further price goes up if they are long above. Right? Anyway. To me, it's very basic. I feel like I'm explaining the concept very basically, but for some people, it's, oh, it's too hard, it's too advanced. It's literally just, it's the market you trade. Everything you're doing is impacted by this process. So if you think that it's fake, or it's like, you want to go draw a box and say this is a thing because a candle bar happened there, fine. But there's something real sitting under that. Wouldn't you rather know the real thing? I just don't get why people don't engage with this and just think it's like it's too hard. It's like, I'd rather know the thing that's actually driving the market that I trade instead of hand waving it away. Like, okay. Anyway, sorry guys. Too many rants today. It's just one of those days. Also a heads up, guys. I am not going to be here tomorrow. I'm not going to be on stream. My kids start school. We've got like one last day of summer with them, basically. So we're going to try to spend that time together and take them to do something fun before the official first day of school on Thursday. So you guys will not see me tomorrow for an hour. For some of you, that's probably sweet release. But for the rest of you, my apologies. Yeah. Mike, my dude, I love you too, man. Changed my life a month ago with your analysis and insight. Can't thank you enough. You pulled the trigger, man. I got to tell you guys, though, Mike has been on a tear. Mike has a great story. If you see Mike's comment in the chat there, Mike is a trader who was hitting a rough patch, and then just once he started paying attention to leveraging Gamma in his trading, he literally has hit I want to say at least 5-figure months, and got moved live along with me with 10-4, that prop firm. So really excited for Mike, and I love seeing stories like that. Miggy is another one in the chat here who has really been able to leverage this trading methodology to great effect. With today as just another example. So really happy to see you guys in the chat who have been following along for a long time, or even just recently, or taken any of the classes. It's a really fulfilling thing. So I'm super excited to see you guys continue to do that. But just wanted to give a shout out to Mike. I very much appreciate that, man. Does that mean that a non-disgusting chop is likely to be more red bars, or is it more nuanced than that? Max, it's a couple things. That's a good question. The whole thing about disgusting chop to me being more likely, or my base case, is because of this idea. If I don't have enough gas in the tank, right? If I'm driving the car and like the market or the active people either have the gas in the tank or they don't, right? And these red bars are me being able to slam the pedal. If I run out of gas, right? And I'm on a hill, and this is the top of the hill, I'm going to roll backwards, right? Until I find a place to slow down. That is kind of my idea of chop. I might get halfway there, but if I run out of energy, nobody's actually helping me stay up there, right? These are red bars, which means if I sell, I'm just going to sell right back down to the spot where I'm going to slow down. So if no one actually has enough gas in the tank to step on the pedal and keep going, if I run out of gas, if the market, the people trading the market, don't have it in them to get stuck up at this next balance area, I know that all of these positions aren't going to keep me there. If somebody shows up and sells, or I run out of buying power, I'm just going to fall right back to the place where somebody is waiting to kind of keep me afloat, right? And then if I don't have enough flow selling me through that person, right, to change that equation, what do? We just kind of bounce and grind and chop. So until somebody comes in and forces it either side, the thing that's going to win are the market makers just doing what they do, right? That's the cleanest explanation I can give you. And unfortunately, on the majority of my streams in this market, when volatility is so low, there's really not a lot of impetus for us to go anywhere. There's nobody showing up going, buy this fucker up, you know? It's just kind of like, meh. No one's really pricing anything in. And that's why we've gotten days where we effectively finish unchanged or slightly down. Look at all these days. Look at the opening print and look where we close. Look at the opening print and look where we close. Where did we spend most of the time? Ranging around. There's a midline. You could literally draw a line across all these days. There's one. Either side of it. Came back to it. Next day. Yesterday. Maybe a poor example, right? We came back to it. But if you drew a midline, why do we do that on days where there's a lot of positive gamma? Today is another example. This is the through line. Where have we spent the most amount of time today? How much time have we spent closer to this strike than away from it, right? I don't know. Like, it's not rocket science, guys. It really is not that hard. It's just very basic. If I know someone's buying and I know someone's selling and I know where they're doing it, I can take way more high probability trades, right? It is what it is. Trader, not to make this a salesy thing, the WAP is basically a couple different approaches. If you're someone who wants to like learn in a group, we do these occasional, like every month we'll do a group class where you're just getting the basics of gamma. I give you materials to like track this on your own so you can figure out like, here's my system. If I add gamma to it, where is it dovetailing nicely? Where would gamma have saved me where my system didn't, right? Like where did I miss a very obvious opportunity with it versus without, and so on. And then I do the one-on-one stuff. So like if you really want someone to look at your individual trades and all that, then we do that. But that's what that offers. I don't have just like a cookie cutter, here's a 15-day course or anything. I'm kind of working on that to say, like, if I took a group class, here's the next group class that's more advanced, right? We went from this, here's how I apply it this way. So I'm working on some fun stuff there. But that's a good question. So if you want to reach out, you can find me at the WAP or, you know, DM me on Instagram or something. Yeah, right, guy. The thing about VS3D or any additional platform, right? Like, there's people that use Bookmap, and then they're paying for whatever else, whatever other indicator, whatever system they're using, right? The more you start adding these things up, the more you start understanding what's noise and what's real. So to me, like, Bookmap is very noisy, right? Like, I see liquidity, but if I know that I don't care about that because I know the data thing, like the thing that is going to happen for sure, I don't have to worry about spoofing and is that getting spoofed and lifted, or is that real liquidity or not? You know, volume is also a misnomer in a lot of ways. Then you kind of start doing the math of saying, like, that's not worth it to me. But if you're looking at it from a cost perspective, it's like, if you win one trade, right? And it's literally the cost of like a 10-point move on 5 micros. So to me, that's a good deal, right? But your mileage may vary. But it kind of pays for itself with one trade is how I would look at it. I do not use Skylit. Skylit is not one that I personally use, but it is one that is out there that there's all these different services that people will use, especially if they trade like individual names. You can't get this level of granularity when you're trading single stock names. So if you're someone who's trading like, you know, Tesla or Nvidia and you want that gamma, that is naive, right? So it's a different approach. But the draw here is that it is literally the most liquid correlated thing in the world. NDX and NQ are not as tightly correlated as ES and SPX. Okay, so ES and SPX being traded together and hedged together is what drives the futures market, right? The 0-date options volume is so high and in such size that whatever happens there and gets hedged in futures, it's a feedback loop. So you don't get moves in ES because it is a hedging vehicle without the thing that they're hedging against, right? Think about how a futures contract works. If I buy a futures contract that expires in September, but I'm buying it today, I'm buying it based on the value of what it's worth at the end of the month, right? And then I'm buying and selling it intraday, or I'm buying it and I'm holding it for long periods of time. You and I aren't doing that unless your personal account is of size where you can swing. You have enough margin to handle that. That's why you're trading prop firms more than likely, right? So if that's the case, if you're trading off the back of the volume of people that do have that kind of margin and are holding it not just for today, but multiple days, that influence, the fact that options are contracts with an expiration and a futures contract has an expiration, that dynamic is what we're trading. Whether you know it or not, that's what's moving your market all day, every day. It's not a bunch of people at a bank saying, price goes up today, buying this contract for this much. They are doing that with a longer time horizon. Sorry. It's just the truth. I think a lot of people get too narrow in their focus. Like, if you want to know how the actual market works, it is not just a day-to-day thing. It's coming from somewhere. It's being driven by huge amounts of money. But not to get in the weeds, but that is just cold hard fact. Yeah, Polar Bear. I don't use Skylit, just to put a button in that one. I'm aware of it. I know people that use it to great effect. If you want something simple, GexBot will not work like this pumped up. GexBot and other naive services are using a few other things, but they aren't getting down to the level of granularity of this is a market maker who is specifically long. They make a lot of generalizations about gamma being broadly positive or negative, or a call wall or a put wall. But they're doing that in a very naive way. They're not getting that level of granularity that a VS3D provides. So that's why I prefer it. But you don't have to use that. You can be just as effective with the naive model. And there are ways to do that. You're just looking at a place on your chart and knowing something is there. You just aren't able to get to that next level of saying this is what should be happening there. Because like the market maker's long, I know they're buying futures in this specific circumstance. Instead, you'd be looking at that just going, oh, there's a gamma level here. I'm going to watch what price does and I'm going to place my bet. That's enough for some people, right? It's enough for you to know that there is a heavy concentration of something there. You just don't know if that's actually helping your bias or hurting it. And that's the danger of using naive modeling. So anyway, yeah, I appreciate you guys liking the channel and subscribing. I would say make sure that you guys take advantage of that TPT code. If you're somebody who's interested in those daily payouts in that structure, it's not very often that you get a 50% off on TPT. And I know there's a lot of crazy deals in the prop space right now. I know a lot of people are actually gravitating towards a 10-4, for example. I'm live with them, but so I can't take advantage of any of those deals right now. That's a good problem to have, in my opinion. But they have a bigger drawdown than most on their 50K accounts. They have like a $2,500 drawdown on some of those. So a lot of people are kind of gravitating towards that to give themselves that extra buffer with the same profit target. So check them out. They've got some great options. But yeah, TPT is kind of the one right now. I'd say if you guys want to support the channel and what we do here, we have a lot of great partners that help us do that. So make sure you stay tuned for any future updates. I know Jake kind of posted that really wild Tradeify 300K account. It's got like a $14,000 profit target on a 40% consistency rule. It's part of their select options. I'm tempted to grab one myself and just trade with size. It'd be fun at the very least, but I just can't really get there. I've got enough to manage, enough accounts to keep track of, so I'm not going to jump on that one myself, but give it a go. Rye Guy, 10-4 does not have Tradeivate, but they are going to have a new platform that we're really excited about seeing. Otherwise, they have a native trading view broker called StoneX. That's actually like a major company, but it trades directly on TradingView with the take profit and stop loss sliders that you can use. I was able to, get paid out on that multiple times before getting moved live. So, that's what they have for now, but they don't have Tradeivate currently. But if you have access to TradingView, it's a pretty smooth situation. So, random question. Based on using Gamma, do you find yourself taking trades during a time window? The funny thing, series, is I've probably hit bigger trades in the overnight lately just because of how the market's been moving, like clean trades through Asia and London off of this same profile. So like if you're late to the stream, that is something we kind of touched on. Someone in here, one of the former students of mine, Miggy, caught the best short of the morning off of this framework because she took this rejection, right? Let's look at the pre-market. I think that's actually too low. There you go. So just a second. So the pre-market structure coming in to the morning yes, we got this nice trend up, but look at the range that we traded to overnight, right? We kind of got this initial dip and we were fighting this kind of long block of positions here. But once we got over this one and we held it, right? Same thing you'd be looking for today. If you wanted this long move this afternoon, you would think that we had to hold here first. But the cleanest short of the day was an inability to hold here. Do you see a strong balance area until here? So if you can't hold up here, where is price likely to go before you know someone's going to catch you and slow you down? So in the overnight or the pre-market, these structures are equally tradable. The same thing that I have for a pre-market plan coming in is something you can sit there and observe in the overnight. So I mentioned it the other day. If you guys are new here, and I always assume everybody's already been here before, go follow me on Instagram. Take a look at these trade recaps. I've talked about multiple trades where I've taken such a nice trade in the overnight. It allows me to be extra patient with the exact same profile at market open, right? Yesterday, I did not want to take the same short that I took in the overnight, right? I took this short in the overnight 2 days ago, okay? 76.99 to 76.69, I think it was. This was my overnight short. So when we opened, I didn't want to short the whole. So yesterday I was like, I've already taken that trade. I don't really love shorting that again. I'm going to be patient and take a long. And that's how we caught 270 points on MNQ yesterday, right? Because we were patient knowing where we were likely to not keep selling. And then we caught this huge move intraday. So if you came in, if you're like Miggy, you got the cleanest short of the whole day off the pre-market structure. So this is entirely tradable because these positions existed yesterday, they're being traded into today, and then maybe they're shifting around intraday. But if you were looking at this is a great opportunity, right? This is what the profile was coming in. So when I go lay the intraday positions over top of this now, I mean, these are positions as of an hour ago. They've probably shifted a little bit. What is still true, right? Let's look at our biggest key strikes. That overnight big resistance, still there, slightly bigger. The overnight kind of supportive area, bigger. This whole area is now more supportive, right? It's going to be harder to really sell off. But the key kind of anchor positions that we built that overnight profile into the pre-market on are still largely there. If you look at the overnight low, where does it line up, right? Where have we oscillated between? Here and here. Here, we haven't gotten back up there, right? But the structure is telling you, this is why base case being grindy chop is that, hey, if we can't escape this area and we know how it works, we know we're likely to just kind of grind and chop against it. But the potential opportunity is still the same. If I wanted to long from here, just like in the overnight, this is the trade that I would want to take, right? What happened after London? Okay, it held that spot, and where did it go? That structure is still in place today. Yeah, George, you'll just have to DM me, buddy. I don't want to spend too much time here. I got to get going. It's Christian time now. But just shoot me a message on Instagram or follow me on the WAP there. You don't have to pay for anything on the WAP. Just follow, like join, and shoot me a message and I can go over whatever with you there. I'm just holding it through the chop. We'll see what happens. But to me, I'm not too worried about that position. We could easily get a late pop. So I'm happy to give that one a little time. It's invalidated to me if we actually sell, too aggressively under this kind of intermediate low. Unless we're down here, I'm just going to hold it because I still think we finish here to slightly higher. So we'll see. My target would be kind of up here. I think getting back closer towards the opening print. I think finishing the day unchanged would be like the funniest fucking thing. So I'm just going to hold it. I'm not really worried about it. I've got so much buffer on that account that's a paper cut. I'm willing to risk about $1,000 or more. So it's just kind of a 1R situation to me. I'm giving it down, like I said, down here, looking for up here. If it grinds and chops, fine. I finish with a baby L. No biggie. But I mean, that was profitable, right? Like that was a very profitable trade technically. But you guys got me ranting. So I honestly haven't even looked at that screen. So thank you for telling me. Yeah. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything else. Yeah, appreciate you guys again. I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so if you guys need anything from me, shoot me a DM or whatever. I'm excited. I've gotten a lot of inquiries now about a group class, but we're not going to do that one for like another month or so. So I'll get that announced, and you can sign up well in advance. But yeah, I'm excited to work on that. But I'm excited to have the day off tomorrow, spend it with my kids before they start the school year, and I don't really see them during the day anymore. And as a work from home dad, that'll be a kind of a bummer. But it'll also be kind of nice. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you bearing with me. I know it was kind of a grindy chop fest. We had a nice profitable trade for a while there. Now we're just kind of grinding and chopping sideways, which again, just like Cardi B saw, there was potential, but base case is just disgusting chop, and the chop continues. So thank you guys once again, and we will see you on Thursday. All right, trade safe. See you in the Discord. Bye.
What's up? What's up? What's up? I am back. I'm back, chat. What's up? What's up, gang? Let's see. Let me mute this actually because I'm hearing myself on the background. All right. How's everyone doing? I'm back in the lab. Man, nothing beats my home office. I feel comfortable. I feel like I got everything in front of me. I feel amazing. I can yell if I want to. I can do whatever the fuck I want, man. Man, New York got me sick. New York got me fucking sick. I'm not bad though, but yesterday my head was hurting all day, to be honest, and today I feel a little bit better. What's up, Vish? Right guy. What's up, brother? How you doing, right guy? Adam, my dog. How you doing, Adam? Anyone here use 10.4 because lucid fills are kind of trash lately? I know Alan uses 10.4. And I believe Mitch as well, but no, I haven't personally used 10.4. Half step off since I went on vacation trying to get my groove back. Fire, yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, it takes a, honestly, I think that the one thing I guess hate about traveling is not being in my routine. That's the one thing I hate, and it throws, nothing beats a good routine in my opinion, especially when it comes to trading. Like being in the groove of things just feels amazing. Yeah, so let's see what we get today, chat. Coming into the day, I am leaning towards the upside. Right? The weekly is still bullish, right? We're holding the CE, which is the middle of the fair value gap here. We're holding it on the weekly. On ES, we barely took out prior week's low, and we're still holding that. So long we keep holding that, I think that upside towards a swing high and all-time highs is valid in the coming weeks, maybe months, right? But so long, yeah, again, so long we hold this bullish gap here on the weekly, I am liking upside. So bullish on the weekly. Daily, we are delivering bearish. We just took out this swing low, and we're kind of not really going anywhere, right? We barely took it and kind of just stagnating there. There is a bit of divergence here between assets, right? ES and NQ. ES barely took out prior week's low, whereas NQ moved a little lower, but now trading back inside of the range, right? So premium of the range here, if we take swing high to low, right? Premium would be that unmitigated bearish gap that I think that we can get into. Again, so long we hold the CE of the weekly gap, which is this blue line here. So 4 hour, going into the 4 hour, we finally got some sort of change in state / displacement on the 4 hour here, right? We got a weekly gap that we created through Asia session yesterday, and we're kind of holding today. Through New York, we've just kind of been, I guess, pulling back into that area. We also pulled back into the new day opening gap, which is this blue little rectangle here. We're holding the I guess you could say order block here on the 4 hour, right, which is where we got the change in state. So closure over that down candle would be a change in state. We're pulling back again into that fair value gap. We inverted this bearish gap up here as well. Yeah, so levels here, it would be of course that swing high here. That's an easy level, although my draw is higher. Easy low hanging fruit here would be the swing high, so long we can continue holding these bullish gaps here, right? Again, we also pull back into discount, swing low to high, 50%, right under 50% is where we pull back into. The hourly, right, we have relative equal highs sitting above us on ES, which is always nice. The hourly, I mean, going back, this is where it kind of gets a little tricky. We inverted the gap here through yesterday, right? So fire read for yesterday's session. We kind of slowly trailed higher through Asia and early London, and through New York we kind of pulled back, we took out London lows, retraced into the only gap here that we had, and we're continuously holding that, right, currently. Let's see what else is there. We traded into a bearish gap up above us here, traded back lower. Where do we trade into? The hourly rejection block, which is all it is a big wick, right, changing color, rejection block. We're trading down into it on the hourly. I'm kind of just going time frame by time frame to see what I'm seeing on each, I guess, time frame. Yeah, again, tested daily open or new week opening gap, whatever, or new day opening gap, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the hourly, not much on the hourly here. 15-minute, however, we've been delivering bearish, traded back into OTE of this range, right? So if we take the swing high to low, and again, all this should make sense if you've been watching me for a while. High and low, traded back up into OTE essentially. And then you get this swing low to high, right? Traded, we're currently in discount. So with a bullish bias, I would anticipate higher prices coming into today's session. We do have divergence here below us. We traded again into discount of the range. So yeah, I am leaning towards upside so long we can hold this swing low essentially. We currently again do have divergence. Let's see, hourly. Yeah, so long we can hold OTE of the range here, I would want to see higher prices. And again, a low hanging fruit, we don't have to aim for London highs. We can just aim for the swing high up in this range, which would give us a good R to R. So now let's see, what's that 5-minute looking like here? Opening print is above us. We keep rejecting the opening print up above us here. 15-minute close in the next, what is it, 4 minutes? 5-minute. Yeah, so it's a little, I want to see more in this area, truthfully. I think I want to see, so long we hold this divergence here. And then, let's see, how's the hourly? I want to see some sort of displacement on the 5-minute. Or not even displacement, maybe invert here. Some sort of invert. $15-minute, how's a 15-minute again? Yeah, leaning bullish so long we can hold this generator. I'm trying to see what if I would wait for the 5-minute to kind of start getting a market structure shift essentially, or if I would wait for the or if I would just take it on the 1-minute essentially, meaning a 1-minute invert past this high. Let's see. I guess these are my initial thoughts here. 4 hour. Yeah, the 4 hour is looking good for upside. Daily is looking good for upside. We traded into this bearish order block here in the morning, or through, no, it wasn't in the morning, it was overnight. Rebalance back lower, equilibrium. Minute, 1 minute, other 5 minutes. So 5 minute closes here in the next minute and a half. If we can get an invert past this high, I would look to try a stab long, and it'll give us pretty bullish 5 minute bars here. Let's see. So yeah, bullish bias, chat. Leaning towards upside. Let's see. The lowest of the lowest hanging fruit. What I did. The lowest of the lowest hanging fruit would be these relative equal highs up in premium. So that could be an easy target or a low hanging fruit target here. Go break even somewhere around this range. Meaning that if we take out that high, I wouldn't want to see us come back down to the entry. 5 minute. Yeah, it's all contingent upon how we hold this swing low here, truthfully. What the fuck was this morning, chat? Yeah, it wasn't the cleanest action this morning, truthfully. Could it possibly be that market is waiting on Nvidia earnings? Perhaps. But let's see. So the 5 minute just closed here. Where's the CE of the wick here, chat? Let's see. So hourly wick. Does wick have an H? No, that doesn't look right. Wick CE. Let's clean up the charts here. Let's remove the weekly gap CE. Let's remove this premium discount tool here. Let's remove. We could keep all of that, I guess. We have relative equal highs up above us. Let's see premium discount here. Yeah, I'm hawking this. I'm kind of just waiting. Let's see. Let me check out chat here real quick while we wait. Yeah, but I missed a fucking amazing trade yesterday, and I today's looking like a possible trade here early into stream, so I want to make sure I catch it. If I or not catch, but I want to make sure I participate, I guess is a better word. The hourly here closing the next 12 minutes. 4 hour closing the next 12 minutes. So let's see. We have a gap here, 2 gaps. Yeah, 1 minute close over 238-ish. I would look to attempt to stab long. If we can hold that. My phone's literally gonna die here soon. If we could hold this low, I would look for a stab long. Although the hourly, yeah, I still like upside. It's just the delivery isn't the cleanest today. Given how we're looking, the 4 hour is about the only time frame that's looking decent or pretty good. 4 hours looking good. Hourly, it's looking good, I guess. I really like the rejection we got here. Every time I see rejection like that and it's with my draw, it's always nice. 15 minute looks good. We failed to go lower at London lows, traded higher into New York opening print, which is also premium, traded back lower into discount. So now we're sitting at discount in an area where we have an hourly gap here that we rejected before. It's also bullish. We're sitting inside 2 bullish gaps here on the 4 hour. We got divergence here with ES and NQ. So let's see. Divergence is at this low here. Morning, Norpez, my guy. What's up? Welcome home, my guy. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I was saying earlier, it's fucking nothing beats trading from home. Genuinely, like as much as I don't know. Early in my when I first started trading, I used to think, okay, trading from anywhere in the world is amazing, but no, it's nothing beats your home setup, or you have I literally have everything in front of me, which is fucking amazing. The elevated life. What's up? What's up? How's the FedEx puts, brother? It was UPS puts, which I currently have up here, which aren't doing so well, truthfully. If we close somewhere around this range today, I'll probably close them out, which would be a small loss, but it is what it is. Yeah, I wanted us to keep so long my contingency upon holding these puts were, if we can continue holding the 103 level, then I would look for to hold, right? Full TP would be at this swing low 94, and UPS is one of those names that when it moves, right? Look at action in the past, right? Action in the past, action, big gap downs. This is the daily chart, by the way. It's not no 5 minute, right? Even better per trade is on the weekly, right? Solid downtrend. Boom, nice. Boom, nice. Nice dump. I was kind of anticipating that this week. Or my expiration is 9/11, so it's September 11th, right? So I still have time, but if we close over 104, especially over prior week's bar, on the daily today, I'm not liking this. I'm also in eBay calls, which truthfully, kind of regret not selling at yesterday's level. So we'll see how that is. We'll see how that goes. I'm still in both of them, so yeah. Been good. Yeah, been good, brother. Just got back home and first day at the setup again, which is also, it's fucking amazing. Dude, that 5-minute wick hit a order block from yesterday's low. On what time frame? What time frame? Oh yeah, the 4-hour time frame. Is that what you're referring to? On the 1-hour chart, I see. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Yeah, I see that. That's one thing about, I guess, ICT is that for me, it gave me order. It gave me a reason for price to find support. And it's so overcomplicated in my opinion, but all it is support resistance at the end of the day, truthfully. See, I'm catching up with chat here. What's up, Dougie? My dog. How's it going, brother? Yeah, the 4-hour chart is bullish. I'm bullish on the 4-hour, especially if we close somewhere like where we're looking to close now. Been finding better entries using the 1-hour, 4-hour order blocks. It's insane. Yeah, I think that the 1-hour, 4-hour, if you're aligned with those timeframes, no matter what strategy you trade, if you can position yourself on the 5-15 minute within those timeframes, it's I think that's the way to go. $29,300 change in state. Change in states. Wait, 29,300 is 30-minute bearish change in state. This 5-minute is just ranging here currently. The fuck is Meta doing here? Oh, I switched. I was like, what is Meta doing here? Let's see if ES wants to come back lower to take out this swing low, or if we created that divergence just to move us higher. $15-minute closes in the next 3 minutes. Next 3 minutes. So does a 5 minute or 2 minutes now. Hourly here closes in the next, again, same thing, 2 minutes. So let's see how the hourly closes here and the 4 hour opens. Netflix, I have that one on watch for downside. So if market were to present, if the market were to start showing me signs of bearish action on the monthly, if we look at the monthly on Netflix, Netflix has been downtrending, right? We're in a bearish gap here, right? We rejected this bearish gap before, display slower, now in that same bearish gap. On the weekly, yeah, I would need to see more though, however, not just taking it off that gap. I want to see the market aligning with price. So if the market can start giving us bearish indications and essentially just turns bullish, I'd be bearish on Netflix. That's like the one name that would be I'd look to go bearish on if market aligns. That's a big if, right? When it comes to these names, you have to understand that the market, you need especially when swinging, you don't have to, but with how I do it, I have to be aligned with how the especially trading blue chip names, right? You have to be aligned with how the overall market is flowing. You don't want to be against the flow, even if the name has amazing. There's outliers, right? But for the most part, you want to be aligned. Yeah, I'm bearish on Netflix. It's one of the names I'm bearish on. Can't sit through chop. Yeah, today's one of those sessions that nothing yells at me. Nothing is screaming A+. Truthfully. Although my bias, I do have a read which is higher. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's the highest probability conditions, right? But yeah, so long we keep holding this general zone, I am looking for upside. Still trying to learn change in states, but I think I see 30-minute change in state there. 300. Yeah, I mean, for me, what I see personally is this order block here that we keep getting rejected, right? That we keep rejecting, so a close over that level, which would be around the level you talked about, but more so a close around the 320 level would be a 30-minute change in state in my books. But all it is, Petrilius, is looking at trend, right? After we take out that swing high, what was that last down candle in the pullback? Mark it out, right? Mark it out, and in an uptrend, that's an area where we could pull back to. That's all it is. Don't get caught up with trying to identify every single order block, right? If you don't see it, then more than likely we're doing this, right? So don't force what you think you see on the market. Just let it come to you. The best setups when it comes to trading, from what I've realized, are those that just come to you and you hop on the screens and you're like, oh shit, this is a good fucking day. It's almost like an intuitive feeling at this point for me. It's like some mornings I'll hop on and I'll be like, all right, today, like I almost didn't really have to prepare because it's it's so obvious to me as to where price is going and as to where I could potentially get an entry. I'm not saying it's going to be a fucking winning day, but what I am saying is my read on price is pretty straightforward. And others day where I hop on and I notice that I'm like, what, the 4 hours doing this, the 1 hour is doing this, the daily's doing this, 15 minutes here. I could see it go this way, but also that way. But let me just pick a side. Those are the days that I think most people struggle with and what is keeping most people unprofitable. I think if you can use those days to just watch price, and on the days that you feel highly convicted on, actually put on a trade, right? And be okay with having that trade be a winner or a loser. That, in my opinion, is trading. That is you using your conviction, and that comes through experience. Fresh cup of coffee secured, lock in, engaged. My dog, fuck yeah. Brother, I love coffee. I fucking love coffee. I go through waves where I try to give it up. I'll be laying in bed like, what the fuck? Like, my day was not complete. Genuinely. I'm not even making that shit up. You're thinking about longing gold? I mean, gold, Bitcoin, chat. Bitcoin has been fucking pumping, right? Bitcoin has been fucking pumping. It's looking like we're starting to potentially get a shift, right? All-time highs by the end of the year. You just have to see how the if the weekly can start catching a trend to the upside and then having the monthly follow. But so far, it's the first time that the monthly has been inverted, the bearish gap, since that sell-off. And where are we exactly? We are in OTE of the range, inside a bullish yearly gap. So all-time highs by the end of the year is not far-fetched. Minimum around the 100,000 level. We have a bearish gap here in premium on the 3-month. Yeah, it all depends on how we hold this the 70,000, 80,000 level. If we can hold 80,000 and continue, I think 100,000 is on the table minimum. But yeah, for that reason, the reason I bring it up is gold, right? Gold is also in play due to Bitcoin, right? Which I never trade gold. It's funny, Mitch, Rye Guy. I think it was Jake who posted a video talking about gold, either a story or a video, and I'm like, I've never traded gold, and now I guess with more experience, I'm understanding market cycles and how things shift from asset to asset, right? What's quote unquote easy to trade changes as time goes by. Like, for example, when we started the project back in April, NQ, the overall market was in play, right? Currently, Bitcoin is pumping, gold is pumping. Perhaps even metals are pumping, right? Is silver also doing the same thing? Not as much, but my point is understanding what is in play has me thinking a lot, truthfully. So we'll see. Maybe we'll see some gold trades here in the coming months, or sorry, coming days, weeks. Yeah, gold. I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't even want to look at it, chat. Because if I look at it, I'm gonna find something here. Logan just want to slap that. Yeah. I want to be a responsible adult and go back to NQ. Lomeli, I'm 450 away from passing this eval. I've been stuck on forever trying to be patient and wait for prime opportunities, but I noticed a bit of execution hesitate. Yeah, it's normal, Adam. It's normal. I think that the fact that your brain is starting to conceptualize you passing that account, or you getting so close that you start getting in your own way. I would get, honestly, truthfully, like I know that feeling. Pop up one MES and buy it long. It worked for me. For like if you're, for example, like if I wanted to scratch an itch and I feel myself about to potentially take a trade I shouldn't be taking, or I feel some sort of way, I'll literally open up either one MNQ or one MES and just slap it on whatever my draw is. So for in this example, if I'm thinking higher prices, I'll slap it on and just kind of set a stop and let it be, and kind of get rid of that feeling of like, you built up what I'm getting at is that anticipation of that next trade is you don't want that feeling, or at least I noticed for me, I don't want that feeling. It might be, I guess, really, I'm hesitant to give that advice is because it might cause people to go potentially on tilt if they go from, being at 450 away to now 600 away from passing, right? It might cause tilt. So I'm not saying do that, but for me, it gets that itch out the window. How you would play Moderna to downside or upside for swings? I wouldn't want to be shorting this, that's for sure. Currently at a level here now that if we continue to hold, prior week high is on the table. So yeah, I would say for now long, so long we can hold that 155-ish. If they really found cancer cure, it would shoot up, but if they fail, can be nice short back to $5. Yeah, if it depends on genuinely on what happens next. I think if they come out with some sort of news saying, oh, it's not as good as we thought it was, it's gonna require another year and this much money to so like if the outlook of what they announced turns out to be worse than it is, the market will reflect that in price, and we'll potentially get a gap down and then trend back lower. But if they continue coming out with groundbreaking news, it's going to keep pumping the stock, because it is a huge deal, right? It's not just a upgrade from an analyst, right? This is huge. It's a huge deal. Got you, Adam. Hell yeah. Yeah, give it a shot. I would say just one MES. One MES, keep the wrist tight. Keep taking that's what I would do. Keep or even one MNQ, whatever you trade. Just stick to one. If you have a draw conviction on a side, right? Your next trade, take it, right? But until you see that good trade, maybe risk, since you're 500 away, maybe risk the full 500 and then go ahead and slap it on. Go for a 101 or whatever works for you, right? But that's what I would do. Polar Bear, my dog, what's up, brother? 4 hour no, not yet. 15-minute closes here soon. We tapped OTE of the range here. 15-minute closes here soon. We did get divergence. Looking for an entry here potentially. Especially with this 15-minute closure. The next 90 seconds, we did get divergence. Let's see if we can hold this gap here and this order block. I would look for a potential long. Now at that 15-minute close. Let's see. If the next 30 seconds closes at around 220, that would give me a potential entry here. We're sitting right at the 0.62 level on the fib, which is OTE. Prior week lows with divergence. Yeah, 15-minute close, very pretty bearish here. Yeah, candle closures are huge. They're very important in my opinion. Ideally, I'd wanted it to close higher and give me an entry. That way the 15-minute could be very very bullish here, but can't always get what you want, especially with trading. Chop City, choppity chop chop. A dog, yeah, it's not much going on here. NQ long, my flip to long. Well, that's essentially what I'm looking for. But ideally, I would want. No, yeah, I'd be willing to try this if we can get an invert of the these 1 minute gaps. Yeah, nothing about today is per se high quality, in my opinion. So full part longs and cute. No, don't do that, right, guys? But I think that if we want to move higher, we should do so from this area. So minute, 15 minute, 15 minutes, only been 3 minutes. The hourly is looking like this could be a potential lower wick here. If I can catch the bottom per se. Clean up the charts here. Clean that up. We don't need that anymore. So this is my line in the sand for longs, which would be the 185. Today's more of a scalp type of environment for me. So literally only aiming for that 5-minute swing high here. Looking at a stab here potentially. I'm trying this. Trying it. Stop. Let's do 201 for me. Yeah, I'm trying that. Probably break even at that swing internal high, targeting about a 3R. Little alert there at the green to red. I didn't even set my... Okay, so the hourly and the 4-hour just went green to red. I'm gonna set my TP 5. Let's do 257. I was yes, here. Sorry, so I'm locked in over here. Just premium here. Ideally, the next 5 minute can close over this 15-minute order block on NQ. Premium would be here. Yeah, it's a ugly 5-minute close if it closes how it's looking. All right, not so bad. Where's the 11 a.m.? Okay, so the 11 a.m. Candle is here. Let's use purple. Yeah, it's not so bad. If we were going to close towards the lower end, I'd be a little more loss. I'd be, yeah, I'd be a little less hopeful for this trade. Let's see. Back to chat. End of day pump incoming. Not after this candle. 15-minute. Yeah, 15-minute close in the next 4 minutes. Let's see. ES might want to come for these lows down here, truthfully. We'll see how we hold this down candle in the 5-minute. Yeah, literally not more odd. I see that. Did you try chocolate fudge brownie? Yes, polar bear. What does that even mean? From where, Norpez? Oh, 1 second, chat. Let me put up a link here. Copy link. Chat, today's the last day for TPT accounts. Posting a link here that'll get you the best deals here. Code rate. Or copy. There. Code rate, or if you just hit the link down below on these TPT accounts, would get you 50% off. And there you go, pin message. Cool. Yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. Today is the last day, I believe, so keep that in mind. PT. Another thing, chat, I have a couple spots left on Sunday's first class. If you guys take a screenshot of your phone, or if you guys scan it if you're watching it on your computer or setup, the barcode up above would take you towards my WAP, right? So Yeah, I'm literally gonna be working on that all week after stream. Want to make sure it's the best fucking bang for your buck, and I promise it will be amazing. I think that I have so much game to drop, so much value to drop, that I think that yeah, I think everyone will like it, and I think it'll be the start of something fucking great. So if you are interested, you can go ahead and yeah, scan the barcode like I said, or I have to change it, post it on my Instagram link or Instagram bio. I should probably do that. But yeah, if you are interested, there's a couple spots left. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it under 12. Currently, I think about 8 spots so far. So yeah, if you're interested in that, also go ahead and check it out. It'll be mainly on drawn liquidity and how I genuinely think that drawn liquidity is the most important thing when it comes to trading, because if you don't have the right side of where the market is headed towards, it doesn't matter what your entry is, right? Let me see. Let's see. I'm trying to get the link here for you guys. Okay, copy, paste. I believe that's it. That should work. I just put the link down on the chat as well if you guys are interested. Yeah, I think class should be amazing. Genuinely fucking excited. Literally gonna prepare for it all fucking week. All right, we're pumping, chat. Yeah, that's enough salesy talk, I guess. See where we at in price here. Would look to go break even here soon. We're back over the 4-hour open, right? So the 4-hour and 1 hour just went from green or red to green. So slightly more, and I would consider going break even here. Although more than likely would go break even here. Again, today, understanding context is huge here. Today is not the day to try to fuck around and find out. Today is not the day, pal. Today is not the day. Telling myself this. So we just took out this internal high here. Yeah, I'm going break even, chat. I'm going break even. Break even now. My break even was like 217, I believe. Again, still targeting that 258. I wouldn't be surprised, chat, if today's one of those, given how morning session was, we get a large wick just to go back higher. Let's see. Yeah, my break even's comfortable now. Break even should be up about a little bit under 1.5 R there. Trail accordingly. Trail accordingly, chat. Trail accordingly. Let's see. Wait. Fucking knee. All right, I think as this trade is also working, I just got a UPS alert, which I think I'm closing that shit. Closing UPS. Trade, sell. Yeah, I just closed UPS. Done. Yeah, this is hitting TP. Let's see. Contemplating holding it for full TP or getting out once ES hits that premium of the range. What should I do, chat? I'm up around 2R at this point. Yeah, I'll trail once ES takes out that high. I'll trail. Or sorry, not trail. I'll fully be out. Part of me is telling me don't be a dick for a tick, but that 5-minute bar is looking fucking amazing. Yeah, let's go, chat. Should be up about 2R here. Bitch. Given conditions, my yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna let it be. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. I guess I'm letting the R multiple get in my head here. All right. If we hesitate. If we if we hesitate here at this high again, I'm closing this shit. If we hesitate, why not scale out? I don't like scaling out. I'm up 2R here. Turn it to the water boy. Fucking Mitch, dog. Oh shit. Holy shit. Let's not hesitate. All or nothing, man. No risk, no Rari, man. Ah, shit. Fingers on the trigger, though. Not gonna lie. Fingers on the trigger. Stow that shit, Jake. Let's go. Let's go. Pump. Pump, 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 pump. Man, I hate these trades where where dynamic R shifts crazy and we're close to TP because just hawking price. Yes, TP we're right at it basically. So I try not to be a dick for a tick here, but I also want to let this trade sort of breathe. All right, we're chilling. Fingers still on the trigger though. Fingers on the trigger. Come on. All right, just take me out. Take the limit order out. Take the limit order out. Fingers on the trigger. Not gonna lie, chat. Fingers on the trigger. If we trade back to 240, I would take this shit. Three. You know what that means, chat? That means TP is hitting. Let's see. Do that later. Where's my trading view? All right. Fucking pump, man. Uh, 5 minute just closed. I'll pull back to this gap. I don't want to be in that shit truthfully. Literally moving my stop up to like 241. Yeah, 241. If we come back to 241, I don't want to be a part of this shit. So stop moved up to below basically that low. If we come back lower, I don't want to be a part of this. I'll lock in my 2R, literally. So this is, in my opinion, trade management here. All right, I'm all out. All out there, chat. All out. Although, with this fuckery, I wouldn't be surprised if we go back lower. Yeah, all out, chat. Up 2R on that trade. Essentially, 2R. Search browser. Let me see. Trying to find I keep trying to pop up a cancel search browser. How do I do this? Trying to pop up a search window here, but I, for whatever reason, can't get it. Search browser, settings, Google. Okay. Oh, there we go. Personal growth, creativity, and alignment with your mind, body, and spirit. Man, I should have fucking listened, man. I should have listened. 333R trade. Oh, man. Fire trade, though. Fire read, chat. Amazing read. Can't complain. Can't complain, chat. But I think if you were to listen to your angel numbers, that's 1.3R on the table. 1.3R on the table that I just gave up. Fucking bitch. Fucking bitch. Yeah, overall, draw was amazing. Draw was amazing. The read was amazing. And a trade like this is what I will take every day in and day out on conditions like today. Right? So fire fucking read, fire trade. Don't have to think. Holy shit, man. Oh man, that's funny. Banger fucking trade, chat. What a trade. I'm catching up with chat here. 1 second. Yeah, if you're still in the trade, I'd be fully out at this point. Thanks, man, so much for the play and advice, man. I just broke even on the day. My dog, Devin. Fuck yeah. Are you, let me see. Are you, D on what? I think I remember that name. Damn, let's go. W. Solid catch, Melee. I took SPX cost based off your NQ and my dog. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Massive vol. Let's go. Holding. Shit, Mitch, you're long biased until the 23,300. Makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense, honestly. Truthfully, the draw for me is that coming to the session was 309. I just took literally the lowest hanging fruit, which I'll take. Holy fuck. Holy squeeze. Holy squeeze, chat. Uptown, my dog. Goat, I ain't lose a trade idea of yours yet. Even if you get stopped out in the past, they still recovered and made paper. My dog, fuck yeah. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I think that the value here is you know, following along with the trade thesis and trade idea, trade bias, and understanding where price is headed towards, and then from there on, it's all about trade management, right? Trade management, risk, bankroll management, and expectation management. At the end of the day, like, you can't expect every trade to be green, vice versa, every trade to be red, right? It's understanding where you are personally with your accounts, and if your read aligns with mine, then slap it on. If not, then watch me either win or lose, and just learn from it. Okay, yeah, never mind, Devin. Never mind. I just saw a yeah, never mind. Just scratch what I said. Went back in, gang. Oh, bang. What time is the Spanish trader streams at? What do you mean? Nice trade, Brody. My dog, appreciate you, brother. Yeah, draw is still higher. I, again, just took the low hanging fruit for myself. Good read, good area of interest, good draw. This is all you fucking need on a day-to-day basis. This is all you need. I hate saying this because it sounds cliche, but it's so true. To make a living from trading, all you really need is this. Just one good trade a day. I heard Spanish-speaking streams on Rake Chat. I mean, it could be. I speak Spanish, I would say fluently. We are the Spanish streams. I guess so. If out of everyone, I think it would be. I would assume it'd be me, the only Mexican. Yeah, I think it's me. Yeah, exactly, Mitch. There you go. Especially with conditions, right? And what I noticed for myself, is like base hits day to day, and eventually you'll have, or at least for me, I'll have 1-2 days out of 1-2 days every 3 months, right? Where I just have a good read, I position myself accordingly, and I make an outsized return with relative to how much I risk on a day-to-day basis and how much I make on a day-to-day basis, right? So if I'm able to show up every day, eventually those I guess you can call them home run days will come, but they're never days that I force. It's just days that come where I have a good read, where I have a good conviction, and they just set up And it's because I was able to stay alive. Almost bullish. Everyone got Spanish. Tell me why whenever I read that shit, the ja, the ha 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 in Spanish, I read ja in my brain. Like ja. Looking like my mom's WhatsApp. Is there a Mexican discount for the live class? You know what? There could be. Jaja, my mother-in-law just flew in from LA. First thing she's doing is going on that pozole fire, Mitch. Bruh, something about, for me, I mean, pozole is amazing, but menudo, man. Menudo with some handmade corn tortillas. Fucking amazing. Man says Ja, he's Germany. Ja. You used to work with some Dominican dudes and it killed me every time. Ja. I think she's done now, maybe, but banked another 200 off that. Let's fucking go. Fire. Hell yeah. Yeah, personally, I wouldn't expect much from price today. Genuinely. I keep mentioning that time and time again, but looking at conditions, the 4 hour looks amazing, but the 1 hour and 15 minute, in my opinion, don't look that great. At least now. Maybe if we continue waiting for a bit longer, we could potentially get something else. But for now, I think a 3.33R trade is more than enough for today. I would consider that a fucking banger day. UPS is fucking pumping. What the fuck? Holy shit, chat. I'm out of these, but UPS is pumping. You're from Chihuahua? Any discounts for Sinaloa cartel? How many people in here are Mexican or Hispanic? Ja. What's up with the Dominicans? Dominican, you're fire. Hell yeah. Que lo que? Learn that shit in New York. Partially Dominican. Ya tú sabes. Honorably white boy Mexican. Bolivia. Hell yeah. What's Bolivia? Central America or South America? It counts, I swear. Brother. Absolutely. Veronica. Fuck yeah. Cuban. Oh, now everyone here is Dominican. You look Arab. Bro, I get that a lot. I get a lot that I look Middle Eastern. I get Moroccan, and I can see, honestly, I see it. Can't even be mad. I see it. Moroccan men would be from like, I think they're Arab, right? And then I've gotten Egypt. Like, chat, I see that shit. Like, can't even be mad, bro. Like, I see that shit. Then I've gotten what else? Like, if I look at Mexican men, like sure, the skin tone, but yeah, I get that often, especially now, because I gotten older. It's the eyebrows, the thick ass eyebrows, brother. Yeah, and I do them too. Now, if I didn't do them, they'd be like this. You would have fit in on Steenway in Queens, New York. Fuck is that? Steenway. roughly famous Middle Eastern culture hub with 22 Hispanics, 22% Hispanics. Is that why? Nah, your search history's cooked now. Got Moroccan men, got fucking Mexican men. That's one of those shits where you if you have no context, you'd look at that shit, be like, what the fuck? Like if I pulled up my phone, it's linked to the same account, try to show bro something, and then he looks at it, he's like, bro, like I feel like he wouldn't even say shit. He'd just be like, this fucking dude looked up Moroccan men. Yeah, Morocco, surprisingly, they surprised me, Mitch. Genuinely. Chad demands 20. Bro, I have the watch. Let me show you guys the results. I have it on my phone. Mitch, the 23andMe. Literally, look. Wait. Let's see if it fucking loads or if it focuses. Or you know what? Let's do this. I'll show you guys. Face in chat. Face in chat. Let me see. 23andMe. I haven't opened this shit in a minute. So here, let's see. So hey Christian. Ancestry. 1 second. I'll show you guys what I am. Matter of fact, what do you guys think I predominantly am? My phone doesn't die. It's literally gonna die here soon. My 23andMe is like I'm more Italian than Irish. It's loading. It's loading. Relatives in the chat would be crazy, huh? Man, fucking app isn't loading. Look. All right, 1 second, 1 second. What if I close it again and open it? Okay, ancestry composition. All right. You guys said Spaniard? You have no for 1000%. It's crazy how yeah, I was scrolling through the whole thing when I first got the results. It's crazy. People you don't even know you're partially related to. So yeah, Spaniard. Oh shit. Spaniard, Portuguese. Then you got whatever the fuck that is. And oh, okay. So yeah, Europe, 65% European, indigenous American, 31, which I think is where my skin tone comes from. Indigenous American, which would be Mesoamerican and North American, whatever the fuck that means. And then 3% African. So yeah, for the most part, Spanish and Portuguese, which makes up more than half of my more than half of my makeup, and then 30% indigenous. Interesting. Fucking interesting. Yeah, this whole thing is interesting. I was curious for the longest, but yeah, I think that it's a cool thing to know. My wife is Mexican, but her family all have green eyes and light skin. But I guess everyone where her dad is from is mostly Spanish. Where's she from? The part of Mexico, is it from Jalisco? Look at the rejection chat on the premium of the range on the 15-minute bar. The rejection of that range. Yeah, Jalisco. Yeah, both my parents are from Jalisco, and yeah, I'm the only darker skin complected son. My younger brother is lighter skin complected, and then my youngest brother is he's like in the middle. Chat, premium of the range keeps getting respected. I wonder why. Maybe it's because we have range conditions, and in range conditions we just go from premium to discount to take out swing highs and swing lows. Yeah, overall higher time frame bias is still bullish, but again, this is why for me it's very important to only take the low hanging fruit and call it a session. Going up. Yeah, UPS, I'm glad I got out now. It's fucking pumping. Still in eBay as well. Low-key regret not selling yesterday at that level, but I was assuming that if market continued higher, it would make eBay have another trend day, and by then I was deep in the money. I'm still in the money technically right now, 106, but yeah, I gave back. I'm probably like break even right now on these. Break even. I hesitated. Yeah, that's probably, as far as execution, I'm not looking to take anything else, truthfully. 15 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, 5 minute. Let's see how we hold here. Let's see how the 15-minute gap here holds. What's up, Lomeli? You catching it? Yes, I at the peak 3.3R trade today, Blambo. Just one trade today, one take, and managed to catch this trade. 3.3R. I took it off at slightly over 2R. But yeah, I mentioned that high here was I think it was a solid hold, premium of the range, which was just a swing high in premium. So it was solid take, honestly. Solid take. I think I'd moved my stop up to 241, which literally I think ticked me out. Let me see the execution. Literally to the fucking tick. My trailing stop. Literally. Literally. Can you explain the banger trade? Can you explain the thesis behind it? Sure, yeah. So let's see, replay. Okay, so at this point, right? I came into the session with a bullish bias in mind, right? Bullish bias starting from the weekly. The weekly, we are trading right over prior bar's high or prior bar's low after respecting the EQ or the midway point of that bullish gap. So coming into this week, I'm still bullish up into those highs, right? But again, I'm not taking a trade to target those highs. I'm just looking for a scalp. So yeah, daily took out the swing low here. Retracing back to premium would make sense, right? Premium would be that swing high. Bearish gap in premium. The 4 hour was in a bullish gap. We inverted this bearish gap. We retraced back into OTE of the range. So it was 0.6, I think 0.68 or what level is it again? I always forget. 0.62, right over it. I basically counted as such. The most important thing is we retrace back into discount of the range, right? On the discount in a bullish gap. The hourly, we're holding a bullish gap here. The only bullish gap here in this up leg. Holding the new week opening gap, which we traded down into this morning and just rejected higher. We took out that swing low, which was also London lows. And I mentioned that my line in the sand for longs would be the hourly wick CE, which is the 184 level. So long we hold that, I'm actively looking for longs. The 15-minute, we kept getting divergence, but most importantly, if we take the swing high to low, right, of that leg, the down leg, or sorry, of this leg, that leg, but also this leg, right? We sold off. Let me zoom in so it's easier to see. We sold off, and OTE of the range is exactly what we tapped into, right? 0.62, noted. We rejected a 15-minute gap, and 15-minute order block, 15-minute gap, and we retraced lower. Where do we retrace down into? Prior week lows, right? OTE, the 0.62 of the retracement leg. Delivery is not fluid. Delivery is not good. It's not the best. We did get divergence there. The hourly got this big rejection. So this is where candle closures come in, which again, I'll cover really thoroughly in depth in my first ever class on Sunday. I'm literally preparing for it all week. But yeah, the hourly was closing it closed very bullish at that swing low, at this area of interest on the intermediate timeframes that I was expecting at least a reaction, right? Not a continuation into the highs, but a reaction, right? With my bullish bias in play. So with that said, we tapped into the 0.62. There's really nothing. I think if you're a beginner with ICT or in general, you look at action like this and you think lower because of delivery, right? 15-minute is clearly lower with any sort of what's it called? With any sort of strategy or system, right? The hourly is necessarily not bullish, right? The 15-minute is delivering bearish. 5-minute was bearish as well. But I came in understanding that I wanted a long off of this general area, right? We kept getting divergence here, so that was very telling. So what I waited for, we traded into this bearish 5-minute gap that we traded into, came back lower, and we failed to go lower. I think if, in my head, at this current point, with how the 15-minute bar was looking, right? If we look at the 15-minute, or yeah, 15-minute, no, the 5-minute bar, sorry. We failed to go lower at that last 5-minute bar after rejecting a bearish 5-minute gap, right? And at this point, right, we had a bearish gap here that we inverted, right? So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, this 5-minute bar looks very bullish. 5-minute bar looks very bullish. If we wanted to go lower, we should have at this area where I'm anticipating price to find support, right? We already rejected this 5-minute bearish gap. So in theory, if we come back to it again, it's looking like a very bullish indication for higher prices. I was aiming for the premium of the range, right? So if we take swing high to low, high, low, premium discount, swing high in premium, right? Aiming for that. And yeah, the 1 minute was a 1 minute invert, right? 1 minute invert. Yeah, and how I managed this trade was I went break even after that internal swing high got swept, which was right around like 1R, I believe. Whatever it was, right? That was my break even, and essentially went break even somewhere in this range, and this one hit full TP, right? I got out somewhere around this range for a little bit over 2R, but the idea, the game plan, the execution, the read, the draw on liquidity, everything was set in play. Although conditions weren't the best, I was able to position myself accordingly. I managed my expectations, but most importantly, again, I think that I wasn't expecting a trend day after my entry. I was only expecting a trade back into premium of the range. And if we look at how price is delivering now, we displaced into that level, went break even pretty quickly. So risk was off the table. And now at this level, once we reach that level, we're now getting some sort of stalling, right? You can call it consolidation, you can call it pullback, whatever it is. But I guess what matters here is understanding context, number one, or first off, understanding where price is headed, understanding context, right? Price could be headed towards the upside, but might be having a pullback, right? So context is huge. And 3, delivery. How is price being delivered on both the higher timeframes, the intermediate timeframes, and the smaller timeframes? And yeah, I'm getting too very, very technical here, and I think that it is yeah, I think that's more than enough for now. But yeah, it was the candle formations, the entry model, the area of interest, the context, understanding why I wasn't targeting for higher. I was only targeting premium of the range. So yeah, that's more than a thorough answer. And again, I'll go very in depth on my class on Sunday, which is very, very limited spots. I think currently there's 8 people. I'm looking to probably stop at around maybe 10, 11, 12 maybe. But yeah, that's about it for now. Technical but simple. Yeah, it sounds confusing if you're not understanding the language, I guess. But all it is trend. That's really all it is. Trend. And part of my entry model here was genuinely candle formations, right? Genuinely, don't overcomplicate it, right? At this point, that candle was very bearish. We failed to go lower below it at an area of interest. What does that tell you? What does that fucking tell you? It tells you that price doesn't want to go lower where you're expecting price to bounce, or where I'm expecting price to bounce. Now, from there on forward, it doesn't matter if it's if your entry is a change in state, an inverse, a fucking downward cat, fucking unicorn, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? It doesn't matter what it is. At this point, it's just candles. It's just candle formation. And understanding that the hourly candle at this point was red, meaning that if I were to get an entry, I'd be getting it at the lower end of the wick, in with the draw being higher, right? So, I mean, it doesn't fucking get any fucking better than this, right? Target was at that level, entry was down here. Doesn't get any better than this, genuinely. I got you, Blambo. Got you. Yep, that's simple, but the key with trading is simpler. Yeah, literally very simple. All I really look for is one, my draw. Where is price headed? Actually, this might be a useful thing for people to. Okay, keep it simple. Let's do keep it simple. One, draw liquidity. Right? Is it if you have an idea of where price is headed, right? Go to the next step. Draw liquidity, check. Now that you have your draw liquidity, what's your area of interest? Like, where do you want to participate in the market, right? Because sure, your draw could be higher, like this, right? Like, sure, your draw can be higher. Just keep it very, very simple. One time frame, but where are you looking to participate? Are you looking to participate here? Are you looking to participate here? Are you looking to participate here? And at what point is that idea invalid, right? Maybe it's, okay, once we, I wouldn't participate here because of XYZ. I would look to participate after we take out the low and trade higher. Or maybe you look to participate at that area because we have an order block, fair value gap, and maybe the new week opening print. And we got speed displacement to the upside that we are looking to get, right? So for me, that's how I look at price. I look at where's the market headed towards and what's my area of interest. I guess, yeah, that falls under that category. If your bias is bullish or bearish, that would mean draw, right? Area of interest. And literally, this is all that trading really is. No matter what your system is, whether it's ICT, whether it's order flow, whether it's bar by bar, now whatever it is, whether it's fucking the way the stars are aligning that day, whatever the fuck it is, keep it simple, right? For your game plan, set two things. Where is the market headed towards, right? In this case, I mentioned that the market could potentially, my theory was 258, right? 258, 58. So in this case, it's long bias. Where area of interest, right? It would be anywhere from, let's say 185 to at the point of the 222, let's call it. That's all my game plan was, right? Before the trade. Now, during the trade, or as the trade is developing, it's okay. Maybe now the trade management comes in, right? Management. Let's say trade management. TM, trade management, right? So do you just get in and set your order at TP and stop loss, or do you go break even? Like, how are you looking to manage this trade? For me, break even at 235, let's call it. BE at, let's do the at 235 to TP once NQ hits premium. Let's once hit premium, or the 258, right? Wait, no, let's just put it once NQ hits 258, which again, you guys should know now it's premium of the range, which we got from the draw on liquidity, and 3 stop loss the low at low, break even TP, and then I guess in between was the entry model, right? Entry model, entry criterias. Maybe it's candle closures with market structure, whatever it is for you, right? Candle closure or market structure, so whatever it is for you. This is done before the trade, before you even get to that area, right? Entry credit, you should already know this by now, right? If you're not, you're kind of blindly throwing darts. You should know what determines an entry for yourself. So at this point, once price gets to that area, you know these two things. Now, all you should really be thinking as price is developing is, all right, how am I going to manage this, right? I know my draw is higher, so that's, you should have, this is already checked out, right? So let's do green. Oh shit, doesn't let me do it. So this should be checked out. Let's do, let's just put a fucking tag next to it. Stop loss, it's like, all right, at this point, my price, aren't you? At this point, I was setting the tool window, stop loss was at the low. So at that point, I'd be thinking, okay, what's that stop loss? What's my entry? How many contracts can I buy? So that is, as the trade is developing, there's plenty of time if you're there, if you're prepared, if you already have this in check, right? And now it's like, how are you going to really manage it? Is it a set and forget type of trade? Do you want to go break even at this point? Do you want to just, are you not going break even? Are you going break even after market creates a new higher low on the 1 minute or on the 5 minute? However it is that you determine all of this, right, should get you to a point where you already kind of know this. You're just kind of checking it off to make sure it's even if it's not written, to make sure it's written in your brain, essentially, right? So after all that is set, right, you're just looking at price. You don't even have to look at it. You could step away, take a couple deep breaths in, come back, and just let it play out, right? But man, I don't know how I started yapping about this bullshit, but I think it is very helpful. It's not bullshit, but something no one asked that I think that could be very beneficial. Yeah, what a fucking trade, chat. What a trade. Now we're trading lower. Got a few points on ES on the move back down. Here, I'll take it. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. That's amazing, brother. Fucking amazing. Yeah, if you aren't planning the trade, you're playing with fire. Truthfully, yes. Genuinely think so. But I would assume that most of you guys in here are kind of already knew this, which was having a well thought out game plan for every single part of the trade duration, right? It's not enough to build a game plan, but you have to understand how you're trading that game plan. And that's where management comes in. Free game, appreciate it. My dog, yeah, got you, Elder. What made you not take the sell downwards? I love double top lower on the second. Are you not greedy? No, it's more so that I'm bullish bias. So on the higher time frames, like for example, in this case on the 4 hour, we can remove all this shit. I am leaning towards the upside. So if I were to try to short, it just goes against my overall higher time frame bias. Genuinely does. Right? If anything, I was looking for a potential rebalance back into this gap to make us trade higher, or a trade back down into discount, which we're currently at now. Right? If anything, looking for something like such. Although that sell-off is not really inducive for me wanting to try something here. But yeah, that's something more of what I'd be looking for here. Just given overall, like my bias on the higher time frame was higher, essentially. And I don't want to trade against my bias. No matter how good the trade up looks. Last down candle here on NQ. We retested that. 5 minutes. Where's ES here? Yeah, long off that level wouldn't be too bad of an idea, truthfully. Yeah, like taking this for me wouldn't be bad of an idea, but that's 5 minutes looking good. Yeah, I just don't like the sell-off that we had off that level. There's 5 minutes left on that bar. Yeah, we rejected the 15-minute CE of the order block and then OTE. But again, when it's a sell-off like such, I always try to be a little bit more cautious, I guess. Although that looks amazing, chat. Kind of hawking this chat, I'm not gonna lie. I'll try with small size. Yeah, I'll try with small size. Small, very small size. Basically, yeah, very small size. Very small size here, where even if it does take a loss, it wouldn't really affect my P&L for the day, for the session. Thanks, makes sense. Got you, Uptown. Got you. Shit, low-key craving another coffee, not gonna lie. Yeah, if that 15-minute can close a little bit higher here in the next 30 seconds, that would be very nice for the long. Very nice. 5 minutes looking good still. I'll go break even at EQ. Okay, so the 15-minute just closed here. Not the worst close. Again, if this trade doesn't work out, won't really affect my P&L at all. Very small size. Literally giving away probably like half an R from what I made earlier. If that. Power Hour, what's up? You like black? You like it black or with taste? Yeah, I mean, I go through waves, but typically I'll get a latte. A latte with honey is my order. Yo, Lomeli, where would you break even for this trade, BE? Around the 244-ish. I'd be comfortable with break even. But again, this is where trade management comes in. If I lose on this trade, the trade that I made money on in the beginning would more than cover this small L, right? So if I was up, say, 2.5 on the first trade, all this trade out, all I would really give away here was not even half an R. It's worth a shot to see this swing high as an early entry, but not looking to put on real risk here at this level. But if it does play out, I can compound into my winners today. I had Nespresso pods and I would always blow through them 3-4 a day. Brother, yeah, same here. I'll get the coffee bags and I have my machine grinding, bro. I go through them fucking quick. I'm here for those institutional breaks you were talking about. Let's go, Brian. You said Hedler too. Yeah, I tried along here. Again, with very, 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 very small size. I feel like, damn, what a fucking goated stop loss if it plays out here. Stop loss is 210.75. Again, you guys saw me take a little bit over a 2-hour trade here. That's the trade I caught earlier, and now trying this one with very small size. Hey, yo. You're back to entry here. Damn, what a goated stop loss. Let's see. Let's see, chat. Let's see. Let's see. Goated fucking stop loss, man. What a fucking stop loss, chat. Literally inched away. Inched away, chat. Damn, this is displacement. What the fuck? Low-key regretting not entering my full size. At this point, I think break-even is valid. I think break-even's valid, chat. If you guys want to go break-even now, you could. Yeah, break-even's valid. I'm gonna wait for that EQ, but break-even's valid. Well, yeah, if this continues, MOC might take us to that target. We'll see. But regardless, let's see. Given where we are, I think break-even is valid. So yeah, I'm going break-even. Going break-even at 224.75. Fuck it. If it stops me out, we'll end stream here. But if not, nice little winner. Yeah, if this candle goes back to red, I don't want to... Yeah, if this candle goes back to red, that's not something I want to be at. So, yeah, break-even's valid. So I'm break-even now on that. Fire. Literally fucking inched away from that. That stop was at... Fuck, I forgot. 210.75, I believe. Yeah, it's targeting those swing highs here. I took it as a scalp. I'm scared. Yeah, this is valid. We entered a bearish 15-minute gap here. This is valid. A valid way, yeah, for sure break even now at this point. For sure break even here. I mean, you could. Theoretically, nah, I wouldn't take it. Take it as in take full TP there. But you should be up over 1R. Manage risk accordingly. I'm break even though. Break even. That failure to go lower was the trigger for you? Fuck yeah. Lomeli, don't miss. We're back, baby. We're fucking back. Man, Elder, just don't do anything stupid after that. Just because yeah, for me that created the most frustration, and to this day still creates the most frustration when you are essentially right on a trade, just that it doesn't, something you do on your end fucks it up. I realized I haven't sat down today. Let's go, let's go, let's go. regret not entering full size now. I regret it. I regret it. I regret it. Yeah, if you haven't been already break even, I would go break even at this point. My break even is 225 essentially, or 224.75. Full TP at the swing high. But again, yeah, this was very small risk, and I think that I am regretting it. Yeah, on 50Ks. Yeah, we're pumping, chat. Fire fucking read today, chat. Not gonna lie. Banger read. Banger fucking read, chat. Banger fucking read. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oof. My first day. Welcome in, brother. No better day than a fucking essentially 3R trade in the beginning of stream, and now 4R here at this point. Just looking at straight up R multiples. Not a bad day, right, Morad? Not a bad day. Yeah, dynamic R is skewed now, but part of the reason I'm in with such light size that at this point I just want to let it hit full TP. Don't really care if it comes back to break even. This point you should be up 2.3 R. Maybe trailing to that swing low might be smart on the 1 minute. Yeah, I'm just holding this shit. Which, again, wouldn't be smart to trail here given we are at premium of the range. We just got to swing high in premium. So keep that in mind, but let's see how these next 2 minutes close here on the 15-minute. We have highs up above us here. Let's set an alert. Locked in. I'm telling you, dog, back at home. Brother, the last month for trading has been amazing. Let's see. Honestly, if I was in with my regular size here, I would potentially be covering. I don't know. Let's see. I'm giving this one more minute just to see if I want to cover here. Ideally, I'd want to see a close up by the 260s for me to say, okay, let me let this shit be. 5 minute. Again, understand where we are. We are at premium of the range. Not only that, we're at OTE currently, right? So be very, I think if you're in full size, cover. Probably taking my own advice, to be honest. Yeah, whatever. I'm break even though on it, so it doesn't, I mean, it does matter. It's unrealized profits, but it's the fact that it's such a small position. Fucking bitch, man. I should have covered. Oh, shit, man. I'm still holding this shit. That rejection is no, I don't like that rejection. I don't like that rejection, chat. I'm not gonna lie. Fuck it. Let's let it play out. 5 more minutes to MOC. We'll see if we can hold and then pump into the high, essentially. Took profits already. Sorry, Dad. You good? Honestly, I think it was a smart move. if I was in my full position, I more than likely would have probably covered by during that high. Man, it's crazy how yeah, it just changes. I'm saying it out loud and I'm like, I want to cover, but I don't want to cover because I just want to capitalize a winner that would be enough risk for me to say, okay, this was a win, or sorry, enough profit for me to say, okay, this was a profit. But break even now, so I guess it's not the worst management. But yeah, like I said, like I mentioned time and time again, covering at premium wasn't should have been the smart move. Fry boy, dad, where can I learn more from you? You got the method. Fry boy. Shit, I don't know how I feel about you calling me dad. Not gonna lie, Fry boy. Nah, I'm playing. No, I got you, brother. It's on doing my first ever class. First ever class here. If you guys want to join on this Sunday. Yeah, link is down below. I'll go ahead and let's see, unpin. I'll go ahead and pin it for the next like 10 minutes. So yeah, literally there's currently about 8 slots so far. I'm looking to take maybe 2 to 4 more and keeping it right around 10 to 12. I want to keep it still pretty intimate. It's a 2-hour class. We'll be covering draw and liquidity, which is literally where we're kind of getting entries from at this level, that level. So I'll do my best. I'm literally preparing for it all week to make sure that there's no skipped, there's nothing that isn't covered within those 2 hours. So that's about the most mentorship you'll get from me in the near coming months. And yeah. All right, Poppy rather. Yeah, call me Poppy. Actually, I shouldn't be saying that. The fuck am I saying? Keep forgetting this is live. I keep forget what I said. Forget what I said. Sometimes I feel like I'm just talking to bro and I have to bite my tongue on certain shit. Trust me, Chad. If we talk in person, try not to get canceled. Chat, the next minute, call me crazy, but the next minute should look like this. We'll hit TP at 12:50 before the 12:50 minute candle ends. 12:50. 12:50 we'll hit TP. .50 will hit TP, chat. Let's see. I'm kind of waiting for that 5 second. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's not TP. My NQ's not listening, chat. It's not TP, chat. That's not TP. All right, that's more like TP right there. All right. 1250. We got 20 seconds, chat. 20 seconds. Can we get TP at 1250? Melt up, Melly. There you go. No. Whenever I think of melt, I think of down. So let's use a different word. Let's use brick up. Let's see. Damn, 2.5 hours, damn near. Gamma Wall at 240. I don't know what that means, but let's hope it's a good thing. Gamma Wall at 240. I'm assuming that there's support at 240. So fuck it. If you're saying there's support at 240, there's a Gamma Wall for sure. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, man. I would say go break even, but I'm already break even, so I'm just kind of here for the vibes to see if we get TP or not. There we go. I was off by 3 minutes. There we go. There we go. Yeah, we should hit TP. If we don't hit TP, I'd be surprised. We should. We should. TP incoming in 5. Never mind. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now. Hold on, I'm losing aura points. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bang, bang, bang. Order filled. Order fucking filled, chat. What a fucking day. What a fucking session, man. What a fucking session. Banger session. Fire. Banger day. What a day. Let's go. Dude, Nano, what's up? Hit a banger trade from 218. Thanks. My boy slaying the market. Honestly, felt in flow today. Banger at the peak. Full TP. If you guys were to hold for full TP, 3R and then 4R here. What a fucking day. So altogether, 7R for the day. Banger fucking session, chat. Yeah, I regret not going in with my full size on this one. Microsoft is pumping. Is this what it is, Mitch? Gamma squeeze? We just tapped New York Open on ES. He said, "Oh yeah, hell yeah, yeah." Someone said gamma wall at 240. By all means, give me that gamma wall. Give me that gamma wall, Mitch. If there was a gamma wall at 240, fuck yeah. Expected move was only 5 points on ES. Yeah, I'm assuming ES, right? Or SPX. Yeah, that's about it for me, chat. What a banger session. Banger session, chat. Again, code rake on TPT. Last day for those TPT accounts would be today at midnight, I believe. Pacific Standard Time, I believe. Basically, just pick them up. If you're already thinking about it, pick them up today after stream. And just 50% off last day, TPT, like I said. Any other firm, code rake, get you the best deal. And again, one last plug for the WAP class. Again, currently I'm sitting at 8 spots for the Sunday class, which will cover draw and liquidity. Truthfully, gonna literally be preparing all week for this. Literally gonna hit a coffee shop after this and make sure everything's fucking amazing. I want to make sure everything's covered and nothing is left untouched on specifically draw and liquidity. So if you guys want to check that out, link is down below or the barcode is up on the screen. But yeah, that's it for me, chat. Deuces. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Fucking pumped to be back home. So back in the groove, man. Let's go. All right. See you guys later.